Last time we questioned what renovation means through demonstration of three very different projects, and today we are going to discuss the different involvement sectors and implementation methods in these projects. Through our case studies, we recognize there are three levels of power involvement in renovation projects. From largest to smallest, there is firstly the global involvement and concerns, which refers to projects such as World Heritage buildings. Secondly, the government and community involvement, which is common in most urban renewal projects. And last but not least, the individual decisions, which mostly refers to interior redesign and redecorations. For the global involvement projects, the buildings have a duty within the global context and are held under universally agreed upon restrictions so as to maintain the global value of the buildings under the organizations such as UNESCO.
This brings us to a toolkit that addresses the need of revitalizing wild heritage communal spaces. These are wild heritage buildings that are slowly diminishing and are losing the indigenous community and cultures. In addition, the sound ambience of these wild heritage communal sites is also slowly being stripped away from these wild heritage buildings. To address this, the toolkit sets out to reprogram underutilized or undervalued spaces of the building to serve as vibrant communal spaces. This is addressed through options 1, 2, and 3. In option 1, the toolkit sets out to reprogram underutilized spaces into flexible, vibrant greenery spaces in which occupants have expression of arrangement through potted plants. This is explored through the case study of the Aliwi bin Smite house. The Aliwi bin Smail House is a walk-up residential building in an Islamic community of Shibam, which is a 1,700-year-old wild heritage city in Yemen. The Shibam city is governed by Shibam local design guidelines that date back to 2,000 years ago, in line with the current Shibam design standards that work consistently with UNESCO to preserve the unique mud brick architecture of the buildings within Shibam. Among these include the Aliwi bin Smail House. The heritage mud brick construction of the Aliwi bin Sumait house provides good thermal behavior, good fire resistance, good soundproofing, and is built with a wider base to provide good building stability. The Shibam community is known for its celebration and activities that are uniquely carried out on the ground with no furniture, its reliance on groundwater from the pamirs surrounding the city, and its maintenance to the earthen architecture that is passed on from generation to generation. However, these have been threatened by the introduction of modern society job opportunities and modern products, such as toilets. As a result, the indigenous community is slowly neglecting their heritage cultures and values that have preserved this unique architecture and community for 1,700 years. Hence, it's proposed that there be a preservation of the indigenous community engagements that will highlight the town's heritage value to the custodians. This is why it is proposed that this case study undertake the toolkit to revitalize the wild heritage communal spaces. In order to carry out option 1 to reprogram the space into flexible, vibrant greenery spaces in which occupants have expression of arrangement through potted gardens, one has to identify underutilized or undervalued spaces within or around the building, and then incorporate planters that can easily be accessed and maintained within the local community. These have to be lightweight so as not to damage the heritage structures. The planters can range from steel, timber, to compost material planters, and these each provide their own pros and cons, which are to be carefully evaluated as to which will carefully suit the current heritage site. Plants are then to be carefully selected to be placed in the planters. These should be lightweight so as not to damage the structure, but they are to be carefully selected based on the climate in which they can easily be sustained. Plant palette range from dry climate plants, temperate climate plants, to tropical climate plants. After incorporating plants, one can then select the right urban furniture that will cater to the activities that will take place in this communal site. The urban furniture can range in materiality and in design, from simple and affordable to complex and expensive designs. This urban furniture can be seats, tables, or sheds. This will transform the space into a vibrant greenery space in which occupants can enjoy and have a freedom of expression through potted gardens. The flexibility of potted gardens can enable the space to easily be changed over time, taking on different aesthetics, embracing different colors, fragrance, and vibrancy over time with each transformation. The adoption of option 1 of the toolkit by not only the alleyway beam smart house but the whole community of Shiban will generate a new sound ambience such as option 2 of the toolkit proposes to reprogram underutilized or undervalued spaces within or around the building into cultural or religious celebratory spaces. After identifying the undervalued or underutilized space, one is to provide the space with lightweight, easy to set up shades or furniture that will cater to the religious or cultural activities that should occur in the space as required. You can refer to the furniture palette introduced earlier for more details on which furnitures one should use. Option 2 of the toolkit will transform the space into a wholly unreligious space that is culturally significant to the occupants and the community. Due to the flexibility of the furniture, the spaces can easily be changed over time to cater to the different prayers or cultural celebration whenever they need to happen in the space. The adoption of option 2 by not only the alleyway beam smart house but the whole community of Shiban would generate a new sound ambience that would sound like Option 3 of the toolkit proposes to reprogram the underutilized or undervalued spaces within or around the building into a multifunctional hybrid space that serves as a casual place for communal activities but can also host occasional religious and cultural activities. This would be a merge of option 1 and option 2 that will make the space a multi-purpose in accommodating varying activities. Thus, the space could be a greenery space but could also function as a holy place of prayer. Due to the flexibility of both option 1 and option 2, the spaces can easily be changed over time by the users, adopting varying aesthetics, activities, fragrances, color, and vibrance as dictated by the community. In addition, the adoption of option 3 by not only the alleyway beam smart house, but the whole community of Shibam would generate a new sound ambience that would sound like
For the community involvement projects, the aim is to promote the living quality of the local community. As a result of urbanization, the growing density of residential communities is leading to a lack of communal spaces in some old residential buildings. This brings the toolkit for creating communal spaces. The toolkit is divided into 2 steps. First is creating room for communal activities, and second is a modular communal space design. This toolkit is explored through the case study of East Xiaohongshan community in Wuhan, China. Built as a colleagues community in 1990s, it was once national property and has later been through the national privatizing housing reform. Now the demographics has changed over time, and as new office buildings rise next to it, the original basketball court, which was the only space for communal gathering, was taken for car parking. The high density, fast-changing demographics, and lack of proper communal spaces and services are causing a quiet, dull community life with little or no interactions between people. The first tool explores the possibility of releasing more ground floor spaces by demolishing some of the building blocks and rebuilding them on top of others as additional floors. The first option is to directly build the building block on top of another. This is only viable for 2 to 3 levels low-rise buildings using lightweight materials. The second option is a dispersive incremental system, which is suitable for higher blocks to disperse the load. The incremental system is to build additional structures to hold the additional floors and reserve 1 to 2 levels in between for indoor communal activities. The new structures are fixed to the existing facade for horizontal stability, and the in-between spaces can be open-plan, flexible indoor communal spaces. The second tool explores the modular design of communal functions and activities in both outdoor and indoor context. These include functions such as gathering, dining, sports, exhibitions, movie theaters, outdoor shading facilities, etc. With these facilities, the outdoor community will be more engaging and vibrant, like this. For the indoor communal spaces created by the incremental system, the flexibility of layout is maximized. 2 options are provided here. One is the daily activity layout with a community lounge and recreational areas such as sports center and boarding game tables. The other is an occasional activity layout for bigger activities such as exhibitions and movie nights. The indoor communal spaces can be more protective and relaxing and more attractive for residents, sounding like this. Having provided the toolkit, the problem is how can we implement a renovation at this level? Who is involved and who can make this happen? There is always a mix of top-down and bottom-up process, starting from the state policy and funding. And then there needs to be a local guide for renovation projects, which is then informed by the community management sectors to the individuals. Once the community as a whole reaches consent, the architects and planners are involved to provide schemes and finally submit application for approval and funding. As for the renovation guidelines, taking the Wuhan guidelines for example, the government needs to first specify the project scope. For instance, all residential buildings built by the year of 2000. Second, different projects can be categorized according to different levels of needs, ranging from basic to improvement and finally enriching. And third, the process of implementation should be specified in detail. Once these guidelines are set, renovations at a community level like this one will be more feasible and comprehensible.
In this toolkit, it provides different options for home balcony designs. Outdoor balconies in urban apartments are a rare blessing due to housing shortage, especially in the aging housing that lack of balcony design. There are 3 balcony options provided. Option 1. Hung balcony structure has low deformation and it also has no load concentration. Option 2. Framed balcony has high level of flexibility because of separation that can provide possibility of good protection. Option 3. Cantilever balcony provides high degree of prefabrication and easy for assembly. There are different material options for hung balcony. It can be used clear glazing, frosted glazing, steel, timber, perforated metal panel, and greenery. The option depends on the needs of privacy, views, costs, and aesthetics. For frame balcony, it provides a wide range of good protection due to it can be constructed as open or enclosed balcony. The material options are steel, clear glazing, frosted glazing, metal mesh, folding doors, and timber weatherboard. For cantilever balcony, the material options are steel, timber louver folding panels, fixed timber slats, metal mesh folding panels, perforated metal sliding panels, and greenery panels. It is great for west and east facing balcony which requires for solar protection. The case study is a teacher's apartment located in Hangzhou, China. It is a concrete frame tower with 23-story high built in 1995. The issue is that the existing flats lack of private outdoor space. The residents have to hang clothes outside the balcony and even grow plants and place their stuff in the greenery space. The existing balcony is only 1.1 meter wide, and it did not comply with the local guide standards. In order to add private open space, the design strategy is that demolish the existing enclosed balconies and build new balconies with 2 meter wide. From the toolkit, there are 6 open balcony options and 4 enclosed balcony options designed for the north and south facing balconies, due to it requires sufficient natural daylight and ventilation. There are 6 open balconies options. There are 4 enclosed steel frame balcony material options, which offer a wide range of opening options, opening inwards, folding to the left or right, or fold to the side. For the west and east facing balconies, which require sun shading, there are 6 balcony options that are operable panels, sliding panels, fixed slats, folding panels, and greenery panels. There are south-facing balconies renewal design before and after images. The renewal balcony design allows diversity of balcony structures, materials, and styles. It's showing the before and after of west-facing balconies. The design allows the individual user to determine a balcony style depends on their own budget and preference. This image showing the existing enclosed balcony attached to the main bedroom. Residents need to pass through the bedroom to access the balcony, which causes inconvenience. After the renewal design, the balcony is designed to attach to the living room. This image shows one balcony option for south orientation. It is constructed by a steel frame structure with clear glazing. It optimizes the interior daylight and provides weather protection. This is the existing enclosed balcony facing west. There is no external sun shading device. The residents have to close the openings and using the artificial lighting, which causes energy waste. The renewal balcony constructed by cantilever balcony structure with external folding timber louvers for solar protection. The residents can use balcony as a reading nook, an outdoor dining space, or a laundry space. This shows existing east-facing balcony. The narrow space which reduces accessibility, the residents have to dry clothes and grow plants outside the window. This shows another design options, the cantilever balcony with fixed timber slats, and the mesh handrails allows residents to grow flowers and plants. The operable perforated steel panels allows flexible solar control and provide a certain privacy. Residents can use balcony as an extra living space to enjoy outside views. This is our 3 toolkits related to involvement hierarchy in renovation projects. Thank you.